being in the skipper's seat when you've got 2 to 3 hours concentrating, steaming in. It's surprising what you get to think about. My main concern is the future of the fishery. What we do is we use a rod and a line, and we probably, you could say, feed the nation one fish at a time. You know, the fish are caught, brought to the surface, and within minutes they're dispatched, gutted, put in ice, and that's where they stay until they're landed that evening. So you can't get any better, sustainable, more looked after, not bruised pollock. It's what we catch in the winter. And I'll put a picture up in a minute. It's another one, another pollock which we caught today with lost monofilament wreck netting on it, which has probably been swimming around like that for probably 6-8 months, maybe a year. Gradually cutting into it. Alright, we've caught the fish now, but it would have been just down there with that monofilament as the fish is growing, cutting and cutting and cutting into it. Probably quite a painful, disease-ridden death. Well, I'm 55 now. In the future, I've probably got 5-10 years, hopefully 10 years with a bit of luck, rod and line fishing. You know, I've been rod and line fishing ever since I was 15. Commercially, since 2007. And in that time, we've seen the size of the fish go down. Every year we catch 20 pounders. Every winter, catch a 20-pound fish. Probably quite a few. Now, if we're lucky to see one a year, you know, and that's not exaggerating it, and we catch quite a lot of fish really with a rod and line compared to a lot of others. And my main concern is nobody's really protecting the fishery. You know, like I say, within the advent of monofilament wreck netting was in the 80s, and within the space of 30 years it has decimated the fishing. You know, the fish get taken out in a certain size mesh. There's no good the wreck netters saying that they're being sustainable with the size of fish that they want to catch. They only want to catch a certain size because that's all that's marketable. You know, leaving behind quite often, you know, some smaller fish which we catch. You know, it should be the other way round. You know, the fish, they gather on the wrecks in the winter to spawn in great numbers, and they work their way up from the west, and when they over-congregate on the wrecks and there's not enough feed, they move on, and some stay behind, and that's how the cycle goes. But each individual wreck netting vessel can use up to 10, probably 10 sets of gear, so that's 10 wrecks. And you only need, say, 4. There's 4 or 5 locally, perhaps. You know, so that's 50 wrecks on the smaller tides, which are probably 6 or 7 day lays. And those nets are fishing 24 hours a day. You know, so there's a lot of fish get taken out, and with the volume, the price goes down. So what fish we catch invariably doesn't make that good of money, really, in comparison, as it should do. You know, my son's 29. He's been fishing with me now for probably 7 years, and it's his future, and it's people like him's future, and something has to be done. It's not sour grapes. It's a fact. You know, the fishing has gone downhill with rod and line fishing compared to how it used to be. I guess you could say a lot of fishing's gone that way, but this is quite needless. It could be reversed. You know, the quota needs to go down, not put up when the fish are spawning for those 3 months, February, March and April. You know, it should go down. It shouldn't be 10 tons or 30 tons whenever they can catch it. It should be 5 tons. That's acceptable. You know, we could live on 5 tons, and why can't they? If it was a slightly better price, you know, they could fish with a rod and line, or they could choose when they catch their tonnage. It's up to them. But something has to be done. You know, I worry about the future of the younger ones, and so should they. It's just greed. You know, one day, hopefully, somebody will understand this before it's too late. But it should be being tackled. I say, I'll put a picture up of that fish in a minute, and that's, you know, just wonder how many are swimming around like that. You know, it's disgraceful, it's abominable. You know, if somebody saw, you know, an animal on the street wrapped up in net, there'd be bloody hell to pay with it cutting into it. You know, blood and bruised. What a life. Barbaric. Anyway, I'll show you some of the fish. If I can turn this thing round. Now that's quality. That's quality. One fish at a time. You know, that's how it should be. Think about the future of the younger ones. That's all I ask. That's all anybody should be asking. Anyway, this rant over for a minute. Thanks for watching.